Hi, the ICOM IC775DSP. Wow, what a transceiver. Probably the most complicated transceiver I've ever owned. So why did I buy this rig? Well, I normally operate from the dining room table. I don't have a shack as such. My everyday setup is a TS430, which has to have an external power supply, and then I use a BHI noise reduction speaker and a manual ATU. The IC775 has a built-in power supply, so I don't need an external one. It has a built-in noise reduction system, so I don't need one of those, and it also has a built-in ATU. So you might think that it would cover most of the bases. The other problem I have here is very high noise levels. The QRM here is extremely bad, and I'd read a lot of very good things about the receiver in this, and sure enough it is very good indeed. This rig also has a 200 watt RF output and a really good speech compression system, which doesn't distort but really does punch through, so you can be heard by distant stations very well. Full disclosure, I don't do a lot of operation, so there's a lot of features on this rig which I neither understand or use, so please forgive me for that. So this is a quick video on some of the things that can catch you out with this radio, especially if you've had a child come round and twiddle all the knobs. Right, so let's start off. Before you power it up for the first time, just make sure that the mic and power gain are down to 0, just in case it was to come on in the transmit mode. And also make sure that the AF volume control is turned right down, because you don't want to deafen yourself. Okay, so I've connected an antenna to this. That's antenna 1, that's antenna 2, and this little link here you need because it's used for the transverters, optional extras, but without that the rig doesn't work properly, and of course the mains power connection in here. So let's switch the radio on, see what happens. Well, it's all come on. Let's turn the AF volume control up. And there's nothing at all. We've got no audio output. So let's turn that back down again, and let's look at the first obvious thing. Well, the RF gain is set to minimum, so let's turn that up to maximum. And now let's turn the volume up. Still nothing. So what else could be wrong with this? Well, the first thing, obvious thing, is the antenna. Okay, we're selected to antenna 2, but we've actually got it plugged into antenna 1, so let's fix that problem. Still nothing. Okay, so what else is wrong? Well, looking at the display, you notice that we've got the noise reduction. We're on single sideband mode on the 40 meter band, but we've got the noise reduction thing set. So let's have a look at those controls. Now there's two controls here. One of them is the noise reduction, the other one is the squelch. So that was set to maximum. So if we set the squelch to minimum, now we're getting some output. Okay, but the noise reduction's at maximum, so let's turn the noise reduction off. When we set that control to minimum, you notice NR disappears off the display, but it still doesn't sound right. So what else could be wrong with this? Well, if we look at the filters here, you notice that all the filters are in, so let's switch those off. And then let's look at this passband tuning control. Now this sets up the size of the IF passband, and at the moment both controls were set to maximum. So let's get rid of that problem. There are a few other things that you probably should watch out for. Let me turn the volume down. One of them is the RIT, which could be on. Again, you get a display of that on the screen, and that would shift that's a receiver shift, which would mean that this frequency isn't the one you're actually listening to. The other thing you might wonder about is the fact that it says memo here. Now that's because we're actually in memory mode at the moment, and you probably would normally use this in VFO mode, and you notice there's a button here that says VFO or memory. If we press that, it now says VFO. Now you can obviously tune this in the normal way, but you can program memories into this. So if we go back to the memo mode, you notice that there's a frequency come up there. Now you'll see here we've got buttons that allow you to scroll through things that have been recorded in the memory by memory writing them. Now if you go to these you can still tune. It still acts like a VFO. The only thing is that if you want to get back to the frequency you started with, if you go down and back up again, you notice that the memory doesn't remember what we tuned on here. And the same thing if you were to use the band change, this here for instance, as soon as you go down and up on the memory, we're back to where it was originally. But presumably in normal operation, you would use this in VFO mode. So on the transmit side, I'm not going to talk too much about that, but there is a button here marked transmit. And that does put it into transmit mode, but it won't actually transmit anything, even in CW mode. It's not like the MOX switch on some rigs where it would force the transmitter to actually send something out. This is simply used for when you're running Vox, to put it into transmit mode, and then when you talk it would automatically bring the transmitter on. But it won't. There's no way on this of actually forcing it into transmit without plugging a Morse key in and going to the CW mode. The second point is the ATU. Now the ATU is automatic on this. If the VSWR is something like 1.5 to 1, the tuning system automatically kicks in to correct the mismatch. But this tuner has some limitations. It can only cope, I think the spec is something like 150 ohms. So if you've got a wildly mismatched antenna, this tuner won't tune it. So you would need to use an external ATU. There are limitations to the tuning system on this, but it's fine for any kind of reasonably resonant antenna like a G5RV or something. So why didn't this radio solve all my problems? Well, there are two problems. One of them is the noise levels, as I mentioned earlier, and it doesn't matter how good the receiver is in this. With S9 plus 10 dBs of noise, there's nothing is going to fix that problem apart from moving, which is pretty much what we're going to do. The second point is that it's not a light radio, and it's brilliant. If you've got a shack and you can install it, that's great. If you have to carry it to the dining room table every time you want to use it, then it's really probably not the rig for you. Okay, thank you very much for watching, and I hope you enjoy using one of these if you buy one.